Hello everyone, this is TechStack here. Okay, so minor changes stuff. That way, that corner of the screen, way over there, way over there, there's a Discord. Join me if you haven't already. So, I think yesterday we said something about having a border around this. I went ahead and did that off stream, obviously. I'm sure I'm gonna keep it though. I don't know that it fits, right? And it's gonna be something that would have to be huge in some cases. And if I'm gonna do something like that, why not just add a background image to the whole level instead of putting a million tiles in, right? It probably is more efficient, or just have it black. So after seeing it and playing with it for a little bit, I think that's probably the way I'm gonna go, right? Leave that out. So let's go ahead, get in here. The tile palette. I'm gonna start moving stuff. Let's go ahead and do the focus mode here. We're gonna do tile map. Okay, so we need to move everything from this line up, basically, 4 or 5 blocks, just to give it a space that it makes sense that there's a down area in there and you can see what's going on, kind of thing. It's really mainly a visual and play space mechanic thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I think better yet, we remove that deco stuff. Oh, there's a ground. Oh. Where did I put you at? On the level. Okay. It's weird, you can hardly tell it's there. There we go. And collision we know we need to move. So let's go ahead and select that. Like we started to. Let's grab this too. That's pretty good. And while we're on collision, let's go ahead and paint some more. Alright, we're gonna have to paint some of this type stuff in. Let's make it all fit. And then over here. Let's get rid of that to none. Let's go to ground. I believe this is what we were using before, so let's do U for filling in areas. We're going to want some ground up there as well. And then those are probably deco or top deco there in the middle, just floating here. Yep, looks like it. So I'm going to select this and move it. There we go. And then we need to move the door itself, but let's paint that floor there. That spot that's missing. Go. Okay, and then let's grab this, get out of tile map mode, grab that. Come on, door. There we go. Hold down control so it snaps into position. Let's go back to deco. Hit the eraser on that square. Is that how we want that? Please select nothing. I think that might be better like that, right? Instead of having the gray overlay over top of it, you can't really see it. Now, one thing that I'm recognizing on this as well is that this is not a locked door, right? I haven't decided how to handle doors like this one, right? These doors, where they're button based, what should be the look and feel for those, right? Should it be a lock? Should it be something from this updated tile set where he's got new tiles? Oh, no. Photoshop. Upgraded Windows today. That was a fun time. Restarted my computer and my microphone wasn't working. My Logitech camera wasn't working. Yeah. Apparently Photoshop no longer is associated with Photoshop files. Anyway, so I could put a door like this. It's just a solid green door, right? It's not really any lock indicator on it. Or I could do a gate. The gate probably makes the most sense. It would just be a matter of either A, creating another prefab variant, or going in and changing the sprites on this specific version of it. Probably the prefab variant makes the most sense. Which one you... Not sure. Thinking the gate, and then these will be ones that you open, and a gate would be something that you cannot open yourself. It's not locked, you don't need a key, but you need to push a button, basically. The other flip side of that is, you know, a green door, a green button kind of thing. Or a red door, red button. Let's go with the gate for now. We might change it in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and see if we can first locate this thing. I think if we hit select on it. There's my stream notification finally going through. Mr. Me6, you're extremely slow. And I'm just now realizing that the sides of these doors are being overwritten a bit. Do we have the... We do not. We need to put the Y thing on there, set order based on Y. So this is a prefab. This is the root prefab of everything, it looks like. So let's go prefabs. Doors, there it is. And the north door. Or do we, on our door script, door controller script, set... I think we do. Let's create this one prefab, but have all of the options available to this door in this door controller so that it determines what type of door it is, if it's a gate, if it's locked, if it's not locked. And then we go from there. So, edit script. Wonder if there's a radio control option in Unity editor. So we can set like a bool value, Unity editor, radio group. How to set multiple toggles, radio button style. New toggle. Let's see. Let me search for it different. Unity inspector. Because I don't want to write a whole editor. Radio button inspector. I guess I could do it as an enum, right? That would work. Let's go that route. I don't even need to find an option, really. We'll just say enum, and then you select from the enum the list of values. Perfect. It's too tight. So we'll say enum door type. And I think we just do it like that. And the first one is going to be gate. Second one is, ooh, we can even add directions in here, right? Second one's gonna be unlocked. Green. Unlocked. Red. Unlocked. No, it'd be locked. Locked. Green. Locked. Red. Right? And then basically what I'm going to do is create a private door type. I would say door type. I'm going to serialize it. Save that. Really? Why did it air off for only a second? Now when this is finishing compiling, we should get another field up here. There we go. And it gives us all the options, right? So from there, what if we did another one? This is getting a little bit complicated, but I think it'll work. I wonder if there's a way I can specify in my code a specific sprite from the code so that I don't have to set this in the inspector for all these game objects. So we're saying specific game objects here, right? And then we're saying sprites? No. How is this working? It's setting the sprite down here. So game object 1, 2, 3. We're just turning it on and off, is all we're doing. So we don't actually mess with the sprite render in here at all. I mean, we will. It is pretty generic right now though, right? Like I can tell it any type of door and just give it the sprites on these and it's good to go. So maybe I'm over engineering it a bit. Yeah, I am. Let's revert it. It's a good idea, but it's just going to be a bunch of setup in the inspector that isn't even needed, and then we'll have references to sprites that'll never get used on the doors. So it's going to eat up more memory, blah, blah, blah. So let's not do that. So let's just create another prefab variant. So this is the north one. Great, prefab variant. So it's dungeon door, gate, not green. It is north. Dungeon door, gate, and then we'll just go into the sprites and change the sprites out. This is way faster for me to get going too. Right, so we don't have those as sprites available to us. We're gonna lock this. No, we're not, because we're gonna have to come back to it. Do the update. I think it's this one. This is the 128. Yep. So let's say 128 on this. Point filtering. 32-bit, please. Apply. Sprite editor. We do have sprites for each one of these, it looks like. Yep. Okay, so here, and then lock this. So this will be our left-hand side. Then our middle. Oops. Oh yeah, we locked inspector, duh. Boom, and the right hand side. That's all there is to it. And then my animator is crazy on this, and I'm not sure I want it at all, because it is just awful right at the moment. So we're gonna save this prefab, And then we're gonna swap this prefab out, right? So we're gonna delete this one. We're just gonna delete this one and drag this one in its place. So we'll put it right at 0.5. 0.5. There we go. And the door placement is a little off. This door lends itself better to having this dark thing on the deco layer here. Right, so it kind of looks dungy behind it. Here we go. Let's open this. Let's open the original. And on these, we need to add my special script, which is this. I'm just going to make one change so it recognizes it so I can save it. And then we need to drag in the top parent on each of these. So I didn't realize this the other night why some of my sprites were not showing up in the correct Z ordering. And it was because this script here looks for its top parent. So it's going to go to this, which is fine if this prefab doesn't have a parent, but my prefab in this particular scene did. So it was going up and grabbing this as the parent and using that to determine the Y value, which this is at 0, so it was very low. Our Z value, basically. Okay, let's go ahead and fix our ground here. There we go. Let's move those decorations up too. They look kind of funny down there. Oh, nice. It must be top deco. There we go. Just some rubble that fell in, right? And on ground, just randomly paint some of these in. Come on, this one. Okay, and then on tile map, do have something there. It's probably top deco. Yeah, so we need to get rid of that. Deco? Oh, it was top collision, that's why I put it on. There we go. So that was trying to make a nice looking torch there, but this fire animation does not play well with that. In fact, let's put one of these in the world on deco. Like, say, here. And then on top deco, we'll paint this in. Its position is just screwed up, right? Why is it at the bottom of the tile instead of the center? So let's... Okay, it is unlocked. Can I select that, please? Animated tile. And say it's this one. That brings it up with Photoshop, which I didn't want. Oh, come on. There we go. What is your, like, pivot point? Is that it? Let's try bringing the pivot point, like, down to here. I guess it'd be 0.5, right? Oops. 0.5. And then 0.1, I guess, since how we're so far down there. Point 0.5, 0.1. 0.5, 0.1. Really, you have to move it to type it in, seriously. 0.5, 0.1. Oh, it's because it changes the type to custom. My 5.1. Okay, apply. We can close that, I guess. I don't know why I drug it off my screen. And then let's try the palette again and see if it changed where it moved. It applies it. It did. That might work better. So let's try this again. So deco. No, top collision, I guess it has to be. Just that extra layer in there. There's already one there. And then on top decoration, we'll put the fire. Which is up too high now, which is just amazing, right? It works probably okay for that. We'll put one there too. So none. Yeah, it looks okay in there. It doesn't look okay here. That might just have to be its own prefab, right? So it looks right. Just an object in the world. Let's go check this out. I get this working, then I'll probably want to start working on drops. So that'll be our next thing. So I'll get this scene set up the way I want, and then move on to making a drop system so we can get items in the world. Like hearts, money, upgraded weapons, items you find in the world after killing a boss, things like that. Come on, play the game. I know you're going to give me a message saying that you can't, but just go ahead and do that, and then I can push the button to fix it. What are you doing, Unity? Checking Sprite 3 for children. What? That's an old message. Because that's when I clicked the button earlier. My special button. You just gonna crash on me? What you gonna do? If you are, just go ahead and do it. Unity is using 1% of my CPU, so that's not it. However, my D drive is going nuts right now. 82% usage. There, it finally gave me the message. So all I have to do is stop the game now. And I'm gonna save, since how it was all crashy like. And let's go set the main menu. Now let's play it. Okay, start. Yay! I need a name for my game. If you have a suggestion, please give it to me. I say that because I need to make a title screen at some point that actually has the name of the game in it. Ah! Get out of my face. Dude, leave. Okay, so the fire animation is there. It is moving like molasses, though. Goes out. Oh, other channel. So let's look at the grid. I think it was top collision we put them on because we had to. We're gonna say tile palette. No, wait, we got this one down here. This will do. You can select that one and go to this and say 10. I don't know if that makes it faster or slower. Looks like it's slower, maybe. So 0.5. Well, I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe I have to exit play mode. 10. I mean, speed to me, you know, would think that faster, bigger numbers faster, but didn't seem to do much for it. That's much better. Oh, do I? Oh boy. Can you do illumination in 2D in Unity? I think you can. Isn't there some type of lighting global illumination? Do I really want to get into that? I don't know. It's gonna screw with my camera, but I could control that. So I got a camera on a separate scene. I don't know if that's where the global illumination is determined. No, it doesn't look like it. There's a Windows lighting, isn't there? Lighting settings. So that's across everything. It's not scene specific, I don't believe. There's no global illumination turned on. Environment source is Skybox. There's the color of it. I don't think lighting is used at all. Let's just try it. We'll put a light or two in there and see if it does anything. Create light, point light. I mean, it certainly doesn't seem any brighter in Unity or in the editor here. Just add a default camera and say active scene is play mode. We want to go to orthographic and we want to say 10, and then we want to fix your Z. There we go. Does that area look brighter? Nope. The frame rate's back to poo. It's 10 though. Okay. Maybe we have to change the shader, I bet, and that gets into stuff that I definitely don't want to deal with then. Because this is the default sprite shader, yeah. So if we looked at a different material, for example, say we did black, vanilla, chest material. Sorry, we're going off on a major tangent right now. So we just say standard instead of sprites. Just like that. And on ground, for example, so we put test in there instead. Now it's getting lit by the world. This is a point light, which is in 3D, and it should cast a sphere. But maybe the... There we go. We gotta go in the right direction then. There we go. Wait, is that the back face? Is that why it's doing that? I can't tell. Which way is which? Let's play this scene like this. No camera. I took it off for real. Jeez. Like 2-second live camera. orthographic. Hello. Okay, my mic is working. I hate when my mic doesn't work. 10. Play, please. So it is possible to do lighting. I don't think we want to. It would only mean that we'd have to set a different shader on that specific scene for the tile map and everything else that's in the scene. Yeah, let's not do that. We'd have to change shaders for everything. So first, let's delete this and the camera. And then the ground material needs to be Sprite's default. Why don't you just go ahead and locate that for me? Awesome, it's not found. Sprite's default? Yeah, there we go. So we can delete this one. Tile palette. Top deco. Erase. Collision. Erase. Top collision erase. And just deco erase. There. So this can be what the starting area for this is. I guess we probably need to... Come on. There we go. On this bad boy, if I can select it. Yeah, he no longer has the door set up, right? Because we changed out the door in the scene. So it's going to be open door and closed door. Does he still have an animator controller on the door? He does. I don't know how to simulate this any better than what I've been doing. So the trigger is what's causing it. There's an open state on the trigger, and the triggers are set once, and they should be removed themselves. Then go straight into this. We'll play all this, then go into this state down here, which is just to do nothing basically, right? So maybe we delete this. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why it does this. I need a scrub through this maybe. Open door. Okay. So let's just play this. It gets smaller. But it's like it's looping in the animator. I don't get it. No, it won't be it. So let's play this. Back to that area. Need to change the button so that this takes me to a different scene. Oh, you can't even see the button of the door. Yeah, see, it's doing this. This should never happen. We don't want this at all. I want to play that animation once and stop, not repeat it infinitely. Oh, do we make a transition to exit? I bet that's the answer, isn't it? No, I can't see it. Great. Make my scene super tall and skinny. Can I see it then? Get out of my way, stats. Okay, let's leave this open over here. See, it played it twice. Okay, maybe the door controller code needs updated so it only plays the animation once until it gets triggered to open again. There we go. So door controller. It's a bug in this, I bet. So we're saying interact button, which we don't need to do. And then it's calling open. And in open, it's setting open state to true and calling the trigger. So we need to check this to see is open false. And then do all this change state stuff. So if it's open, we don't want to open again. If it is not is open. Right? And then we can do the same thing in close. If is open, we can close you. That will probably fix it. Because it's continually trying to open it every time I step on that plate, even if it's already open. Huh. Played it twice again. I stepped on it and it played it twice. It's because it's each trigger? So we're bypassing this with our little button code. But okay, on the button, are we calling it twice then? Where's my button code at? Even then, though, it shouldn't happen because it's already going to be set to true in there. Lever. Oh, floor button. Set pressed. We're invoking whatever it is. Ah, the stay event. Why did we do that? Because when a player or something else exits the trigger, it fires the exit trigger state, which would have removed it. But if there was another collider on it, like a pushable, we want to keep it pushed down. Let's do the door open again. Debug.log open called. There. Oops, just once please, because that's the whole point of me doing this. I want to see in the console how many times it calls it. Once. Called it when I stepped off of it again. Okay, that's clear. I step on, we get it once. Oh, it's just once. It's kind of gonna do it now. It played 3 times, but we only got 1 message, so it's only calling it once. It's something in the animator then. But what? Is the can call selfish option? Probably can't change it in run mode. Source state does not have a what? Oh, okay, so it's nothing on it. Oh, okay. Let's transition from any state to open door. And then in any state, there's a can transition to self. And we say have exit time 1, 0. That's probably it. I just set this up because I didn't want a default state. I didn't want it to go trigger into the open right away. This makes more sense now. Okay, so the condition is going to be open. Not sure it's going to fix it completely yet. But I think we're on the right path. So let's start this now. Sorry if there's an echo of myself, but I'm trying to see if... Okay, trying to see if my mic screen picked up, because... I'm paranoid of that after that one night where I streamed for like an hour and nothing came through. Dog. Serious kickback on that one. Okay, where's our door in the scene? So we can select it. There it is. Select you, and then... I played it twice here, didn't it? You can't transition to yourself, though. I mean, the alternative to it is we just don't do the transition. Right? We do this. And the door disappears when you push the button. That visually looks just fine. It's funny, my head can set it off now. Because the button on the floor is picking up my head trigger. It's a trigger event there. Is there a way to check if it's a trigger? If collision. We gotta get a run mode or something? What? Collision dot is trigger. if it is not a trigger, we will do all this, because he's got 2 colliders on our player. One for his head that's a trigger for arrows to pick up, and one that is a actual collider, not a trigger collider. And the pushables, I believe, have regular colliders as well. I need a button I can click that's turbo mode for our player. I can get him where I need to go. Okay, and his head no longer triggers it, it's only his feet, which is what I want. So, let's maximize on play, on pause, there we go. Does that keep it triggered? Awesome. Okay. Push it off. Nice. Push it back on partially. Should be closed. I walked over it again like an idiot. Let's try to not walk over it this time. There. I want to make sure it came off. Yep, it did. Cool. So now on to item drops. Let's make a prefab out of this in our dev scene for prefab stuff. First off, let's get our regular view set up here again so we can see what we're doing actually. Okay, save. Where is my dev folder? Don't tell me I deleted you. Oh, I moved you. Okay. Oh. So we've got our scorpion in here somewhere. There it is. And our cubes, which we can kill all of this now, I think. Got that saved somewhere else as a prefab, so we can create an empty and we can say item drop, right? It doesn't have to have a specific item on it, really. What we will need is a sprite renderer and gosh, is there anything else? Probably an animator if I want to make it look cool. And a trigger collider. That should be it. Oh, and of course my set Y thing. So sprite, render, collider, 2D box, yep. We'll do trigger on it. And what else? Set Y, yeah. Top parent's going to be itself. The sprite we don't currently have, I don't believe, so we'll set it to a key. So we can drop keys on the ground. Looks like this will be our default one. Okay, and that's the size of it, huh? Let's reset our transform first, real quick. And then move it like this. It's gonna take up less than a tile this way. What if we do like 0.5 on it though? Grab our player prefab, just as a reference. He's at scale 1 right at the moment. I don't know if that's the scale we use for him in the rest of the scenes. Always loaded. There he is. It's scale 1. So that's the right size. So that key there is a bit small actually than next to him. So maybe having it 1-1 is okay. Sure. Why do we have that above his head again? Item found spot? Okay. Let's get rid of him again. We've got an inventory screen, right? Or an inventory script. And we're tossing this around pretty heavily. And it's just a bunch of Boolean variables, basically. And I think we have an inventory display, or display inventory, or something like that. Inventory display. Which has all the sprites for everything, basically. And we just say get sprite for inventory on it. So we could have a reference to this and a reference to inventory. Oh, it wants a sprite render. Nice. It's looking for this item found spot though. Which we don't want to do. But something like this will work. I don't know why I said inventory display and then tied it into this item found spot. And this is getting time to live, and yeah, it's set to basically kill the display after a certain time. Yeah, we don't want to do that. I think the inventory class? No. We need another class. Somewhere that'll do basically similar to this, but without killing the item and all that stuff. It just gets us a sprite render. Then that class, or this class could reference that class, then we only have to update it one spot. Yeah. Or, this is always going to be on a player. Come on, open the scene. What did you do? Dev. Always. There we go. So this is always going to be on the player? Yep. So we've got all the sprites basically set for all of our items right here. Like my sword and power sword. Bow. So we would just need to say inventory. From the inventory class we could say get our player, then from the player we can get the inventory display, and then from there we can get the sprite that's appropriate. But does it get the sprite that's appropriate for an inventory? It does. And it's public. That's what I need to do. Okay, so our item here needs a reference to inventory. So it determines, this will determine what the item is, right? Be really cool if we could get the item from the player here. But we shouldn't. add another component, which will be item drop. It's like it's gonna need to despawn after so long and things like that, so we need to control it from this. Now you finally created it. There we go. And this is going to need a reference to our inventory. So private inventory, my inventory, and then void start. We're going to get a reference to inventory. My inventory equals get component inventory, and we'll want a private IA inventory display. ID, inventory display. We did that before. I accidentally named it the wrong thing. So inventory display equals get find game object. It's game object dot find games with tag, and it's going to be player, and then dot inventory display. Get component inventory display. We'll say dot get sprite. What? Thought we had that as public. Get sprite. Why is it not liking that? No arguments. Okay. My inventory. Object reference is required to the non-static field method or property inventory display. Sprite for inventory. What? Not static. That. Oh. There we go. So say if my inventory is equals null. Nah. What's that required component said? Required component. Type of inventory. And that line we just created, there we go. Let's say public, I don't know, void set my sprite. And it will get a reference to the sprite render on this. Jeez. Private sprite render SR equals get component sprite render. And guess what? We're going to use get component again, or required component again. Sprite render. Say sr.sprite equals that. And in here we'll call this if SR is not equal to null, public void set my inventory in inventory. There we go. And that's gonna set my inventory to inventory. Go. And we'll call set my sprite. So then when we spawn this in from somewhere, we'll instantiate the game object, and then we'll call set my inventory with an inventory object, and that will tell us, that'll give us our item. So really this call is probably not going to be needed, but I'm going to set it here just in case we've set inventory manually through the inspector or something maybe. I don't know if I ever want to do a prefab maybe. With a specific item. We'll say serialized fields just so that we can see what the item is. And then gosh, do we want to destroy it after a certain amount of time? I think we do. But not on spawn, right? Let's set it down here for now. Let's set my inventory. Which will do destroy. Come on. DESTROY. Private. Float. Time to live. It'll be transform that game object. You never want to do this. Time to live. And this is in seconds, I believe, or I believe it's seconds. I don't know. So that'll kill the game object altogether. And then on this, we need to do the whole collision stuff, right? So, on trigger enter, public on trigger enter 2D. Come on. A typo thing. On trigger. Void on trigger enter 2D. There we go. Collision. If collision dot tag equals player then we're going to do a thing which is get player. So we need to get the player again, don't we? Get component inventory. Extra letter there. And we're going to say merge. Yep. My inventory. Okay, so we're going to merge in the player's inventory, or into the player's inventory. Then destroy. I don't know what else we need to do. There's going to be a sound effect or something, right? But I don't have sound assets. I don't have the sound system set up, so we're going to say destroy this game object. This transform.game object. Yep. Did we set the collider as a trigger? We did. We're also going to look at the collision. And then collision is trigger. Oh, it's not a trigger. This song just kind of weirds me out. That first of all stuff. Oh, awesome. My controls are not working for real. Windows Update did it probably. Probably removed my plugin I had for Windows Media Player. Find that again. Okay, so game object, destroy object. We're going to merge in the player's inventory. Okay, and then let's, before I forget, go ahead and add in here. I don't have any drops, so we're going to add a drops folder. Just in case I later do create a bunch of them. We never set a default for what's the word? The time to live. Let's go ahead and do that. Set it to like, I don't know, 60. Okay. Let's save this. Let's go into some scene somewhere. I guess the overworld. We're gonna just spawn in the prefab and see what happens. Enemy drops. What are we looking for? We already set up a key, is it? It's nothing to it though. Okay, so drops. Let's go to a specific area. There we go. So item drop. We're just gonna spawn it right there. Set Y and layer set. Yes. So that should make it come to the front then when I play the game actually. And looks like it didn't. Okay, so why not? It is definitely up there in the Y order, but there's no render on it because we didn't set what the item was. So let's do that. Shoot, let's do it in this mode. Set to the bow, even though the bow is a funny looking item, it's not gonna look like a bow. Like a switch or a button or something. There it is. If I touch it, it does nothing. Why you do nothing? These collision objects tag player, and then we find in the game object. Do we got any errors? Nothing recent, no. Huh. Did we do something silly like put it on a funky layer? On the default layer, let's make sure that collisions are turned on there. Physics 2D. Yep. Everything's turned on besides projectiles with projectiles. Z value is very 0, right? So that's good. The collider's plenty big. Just had an idea that's completely unrelated, but I want to go for it. Can you say serializable up here? Deprecated. Prefer scriptable object derived type to use binary serialization regardless of project asset serialization mode. Okay. No. I'm assuming there's a way that we can make this whole class that's got a lot of publics in it show up right here instead, so we can create a brand new one. So we don't have to have two of them essentially on the same object. But whatever. We're fine for now. Why would that not show that I'm entered the collider at all? So let's item drop, just go for debug.log on the collider. Debug.log collision tag. See what we collided with. Maybe it's something other than what we expected. Maybe I messed up the player. I doubt it, but maybe. Okay, we're not getting any collision messages, are we? Nope, there's nothing in the console for that. It's 2D trigger enter. Box collider trigger. Is it because we need a rigid body on it too? I don't think so. I think the buttons aren't set that way. So interactions button. Open prefab. Got a box collider set to trigger. And that's it. And in this script, what are we calling? On trigger enter. Oop, oop, don't start editing you. Copy. It's a private. It's not public. It's me, Mario. It's me, Mario. I want to touch the button. And it is still not. How dare they? Did you error off there? What is that? Why is it red? Cool. Floor button, where are you?
Raggy.
The heck? Is that the object? That's a good question. Yup. The collider did not create any collision shapes as they failed verification. This could be because they were deemed too small or the vertices were too close. What? Here, let's just recreate you then, because you didn't have a sprite or something at the time, probably, right? Box collider. Like, I literally want the box collider to be the whole cube. That's fine. I don't care. Save. And it's gone. I probably didn't have the item on there, so I didn't know what to do originally. Remove. Oh, wait. Oh, go back. Prefab. Box collider. Copy component, paste component. Yeah, that didn't work either. Save thing, save ding. Hey, would you look at that? Not only did we pick it up, but let's see. Our young hero here, his inventory is showing that he now has a bow. I don't know if he started with one, but he's got one now. Let's play again. He has no bow, even though we can use it. Don't die, I must check your inspector. He's got the bow. Yay, we've got item drops working, kind of. So now, when we kill an enemy, we can pick a random drop. Or we can just pick a drop because we only got one right now. Well, let's look at our enemy code. Let's see, he's gonna have a death thing, isn't he? Or he's not. He has no death. We need to add a death. Public on void on death. And I want to do it here specifically, because I know our health thing is on multiple different widgets, and we don't want it always to do that. So where are we doing this at? So if health below 0, we destroy the game object. So if EAI dot is not null, we will first call on death. EAI dot on death. Boom. And in there, we will do the drop spawning first. So we're going to create a new... Hey, Tiger J. Bringing the hype, the triple hype. Had to get close to my screen to read that. Let's see, so game object no, instantiate The Quadra Hype. We're going to instantiate what? Hey, Joshua. Oh, hey! I just now noticed the raid message. Thank you for the raid with 8 viewers. Awesome, man. What are you making for us to play? So I am working on an action-adventure top-down 2D game. To be fast about it, but cheat on my description, inspired by Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. So it's very early in the project, at least for me. So it's not super playable yet, but we've got some basic enemies in a couple spots. We've got some different biomes here that you can see. There is some combat, right? So you can fight this guy. Thank you. I will admit I did not create all the art. Purchased some of the art because I am not the best artist, but some of it I did create. So this is going to be one of the dungeons. I've gotten this far into the dungeon, and then I was like, okay, I need to make it a system for item drops, and that's what I was working on when you guys came in. So if you push this button, that door opens, but this particular button's not persistent, so it will need to keep its state by having something on it, so you can push this pushable block over here up onto it, and that keeps the button pressed, and then opens the door. And at that point, that's what kind of where the dungeon ends. Like, there needs to be another teleport off to the rest of the dungeon, I think. So it's just start, you know, little bugs, the animation on the fire is a little slow, things like that. I don't know. Yeah, we never went back there. That's the first time I've done that. Cool wall climbing. Well, are you talking about when I went down in that dungeon? There's stairs there. Hey, below the death. Below the stone death. Correct myself mid-sentence. So what we work on? So the item drop. You guys gonna stream tonight? Oh yeah. You won't actually be able to do that tomorrow, probably. Okay. I won't be around tomorrow. I've got a thing after work I gotta go to with my daughter. That'll keep me busy for most of the night, probably. If I do end up back early enough, I'll stream, but I'm not planning on it at this point. So we need a reference to a game object, I guess. That'll be our item drop. How am I going to find that easily? I think there's a way you can find a prefab to instantiate it in your assets. Unity, instantiate, prefab from asset. It's not something I've done a lot. That's why I don't want to booger it out. Resource load, there we go. So it's going to be under prefabs, drops. Okay. Like this. So instantiate. Come on. I would do resource dot load, and there's probably another Unity using statement we need or something. Using Unity engine dot resources, maybe. Nope. Somebody says it's what? Oh, it's the resources folder method. Forgot about that. And somebody else is saying that it's asset bundles are Unity Pro only. That seems funny to me. I thought that was only for web assets, though. Try it again. Resource. There it is. Load. Path name of the target field. When using an empty string, the function will load the entire contents of the resource folder. Please no. So path. Type. And path. Oh, typed one. Okay. That means I have to create a resources folder, and I don't want to do that. So I'll just grab a reference to the object. Oh, that's me. So on our enemy, down here, it's a script we're in, so we can say game object. Serialized field, game object, item, drop, prefab. Save. And then once you compile, item drop prefab goes right into there, but let's do that on the root. There we go, prefab. Go, let's save that. So now he's gonna have a reference to this. And we can come down here. And we're gonna say inventory. New I equals inventory I dot as key. No, key count. What is key count? This one, and then we'll say instantiate prefab at the transforms parent. We don't want the parent though. We want the position. So transform dot position and transform quaternion rotation. Sorry. And we're gonna say game object go equals that go dot get component inventory dot set merge. Let's just do merge I. My inventory system in my game is very simplistic. It's a bunch of bools. Crap, crap. Stop hitting me. You're gonna kill me, dude. It's my game, you're making me look bad. No! I'm pushing down, but I need to wait a second longer. I need to tweak my controls to hair. There, he dropped the key. Probably can barely see it, but it's there. And then if I touch it, my key count is now 1. Awesome. And I can pick up the thing, and that's good. It's all working. We have item drops from enemies, and then It's just as simple as going into my inventory script and saying bool or public bool has scorp SCORPION tail equals false ALSE. And then in here we just do that equals that ORed with other inventory dot has scorpion tail, and we've just added an item to the game. Alright, I guess we have to come down here and say clear too, so false. It's that simple, right? I know a lot of people do it off of XML files or JSON files or this or that and read them in and parse them in, and then they have to go out and create those files. I create one variable and add 2 lines of code, and I've got mine in and going ready to go. And it works everywhere, and it should be super efficient too, because it's just a bool value. I've even got multiple or stackable items supported, right? How do I do that? Just an integer. You get more than one, you get an integer on it. And when you want to combine 2 inventories together, say the item that's on the ground with the player, just do this merge function. Boom, done. It doesn't make for an extensible game very well, but I don't plan on this having mod support, so that's okay. And if it gets so popular that everyone demands mod support, guess what? I guess I'll go in there and rewrite that class that time. My inventory screen is the reason I'm doing that too. I'm going to have a static inventory screen basically, where every item will have its own slot, and it's either in that slot or it's not. And nothing else will be in that slot. Or there'll be a slot that's dual use, and like you get rid of item B and can get item B in that slot, that kind of thing. It's gonna be pre-planned out. It's not gonna have a dynamic system basically. So let's go to my tool palette real quick, or my tile palette real quick. I want to check something out now that we've completed that other task. Let's go to these town exteriors. No, town extras. Something extras. There we go. I want to see. There is. Awesome. I'm going to use this cauldron as part of the story. I think there's a campfire as well. There is there. Put the campfire under the cauldron maybe? I don't know how that'll work. Placement wise. Keep up the good work. I'll see you around. I stream game jams and dev in Unity also. I'll try to come by every now and then. Have a great night in stream. Thank you, Tiger J. You stream game jams and game development, I will give you a follow. Real quick here. Have a follow. Nope. That's not the button. Follow, I said. Here we go. Trying to expand the number of people in our game development community that stream together and do Unity development together, basically. Help each other out. See? Below the Stone and I are similarly minded on helping each other out as far as the streaming and game development community. At least based on what we talked about, man. Seems like you are. So let's just try something here. I want to put like this here on deco, and then on top deco, can I place this over top of it, or is it going to be misaligned? Yeah, it's going to be middle a bit misaligned. That's okay. Like, I could put this as a actual object in the game. You hate people who game dev. Think it out. What are you doing here? Oh, I don't have that one, do I? I was like sitting there looking at that emote and I'm like, why haven't I seen that one? But I don't think I have it. That's a higher tier sub, isn't it? Darn it. Oh well. Yeah, but yet, like, other people... Right, same for me. Like, I'd rather somebody have all three of them. I was watching another stream and somebody used their own little emote. So I looked at it, and when I did, it said, you know, when I clicked on it, yeah, it gave me like 10 different ones or some crap for tier 1. So it must be like partners or something. Get that? When I click on your emote, it says, you know, who you are. Yeah, tier 3 sub emote. And that, you know, subscribe for 25 bucks to get that emote. Yeah. Well, I do know from another Twitch follower, a Twitch streamer that I follow, that he had to get so many followers or subscribers, I'm not sure which, before they would unlock even more for him, right? So they still kind of like do that carrot and stick to you. There's no like just regular fire, is there, that I can use? I know there's this, which we could put in there. No, they were partner. They were full-on partner, Twitch partner. Like this guy, every time he streams, he has a couple hundred viewers constantly. So what I'm thinking here, and a couple people here, so for the story. So what I'm thinking is there'll be a NPC here by this cauldron, and that NPC will be basically the equivalent of a wizard or a witch, right? And if you give them a certain item in the game, they will brew something for you that unlocks something else in the game, right? So that's why I wanted to make sure that I did have a cauldron, because I thought I did see it the other day. But I would need a way to make it look a little better than this, right? So it's an empty cauldron right now. We need some water effect in it, which maybe I could get something off of one of these. Although the water in this is pretty straightforward too. It's just a plain simple thing. Maybe some particle effects for steam coming off of it or something. And then a fire effect underneath it as well, right? For when he goes to brew it for you. It's a lot of effort for that, but he's going to be a key part of the story, I think. And it kind of makes sense that it would be this guy here, out in the middle of nowhere. Right? He's kind of on the back road. Even though this is all subject to change. Maybe he'll be out in the woods even more. Maybe he won't even be in the town. I just wanted to feel out the idea, and I think I'm going to be able to go with it. Let's erase it from here for now. That's on deco. What next? I guess back to the dungeon, right? See if we can get another area on the dungeon and work out how I'm gonna teleport from area 1 to 2 within the same dungeon. Sure, I don't have any messages. Nope, I'm good. Come on, open up the level. Let's do our grid too. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. That's what I want. A-star. I kind of wanted to get something that's playable going, right? Instead of just walking around in the overworld. Like, I wanted to have the mechanics working, right? So it's already got the first puzzle where you have to open the door and stuff. So let's see, let's get our AI nav mesh path in place for this scene. That's wide enough. Let's move it over though. And increase the width a bit more. That's not moving the center point, is it? Dang it. Like, the smaller I make this, the more efficient it is, but at the same time, it's kind of fiddly. 14. That's good. And let's do that down to 20, I guess, and make it a little higher then. There we go. Cool. So the AI knows he can go here. He can walk around all of this stuff, and then he can go down into here. Not sure why he doesn't think he can go there, though. Let's check that out. Collision. Tile map. There's nothing there. On either layer? Yeah, why can't he go there? Oh, I get it. It's okay he doesn't go there, I guess, because he won't act like he's going towards the door. But the reason why he's not trying to go there is the door itself has a collider. This one and this one. And this one's the one that's out here. So if I disable that, you'll see the white box goes away. And it's because he's on the default layer. If I take him to different layer, then that would work because our A star grid is looking at default layer only. But if I tell him to look at collisions, that works too. And then I can say this and this is on collisions. Collisions. And save and go back here and hit scan. Get rid of default and hit scan. There. So now he can path all the way. And he also can go over the button. Ooh, is that going to make him push these around, I wonder? Could. Let's turn this white piece off here. So he thinks he can get on there, but he can't. Get in there. Okay. Now, what enemy do we put in here is the question. Unfortunately, I've only got a couple right now, so let's just put one knight in here, I guess. I would love to have like a skeleton or a snake or something like that that we could put in here, but I don't have it set up. Okay, let's save this. Make sure he can path around in here. That's the reason I'm setting up the nav mesh and all this. I want to make sure everything's working. And I'm dropping frames like crazy. Wow. I'm back now, I guess. Sorry. Not sure what happened. Internet must have hiccuped for a second. Okay. Awesome, he's going down the steps even. They didn't do that in Link to the Past. Oh god. And he drops the key, because I forgot to take that off. That's cool, but it's not needed. Let me get that, and I can stop getting stuck. We go right out of the level. Cool. So imagine him as a skeleton instead of that. I wonder if I can take all the components of these characters from Photoshop, right? The assets that make them up, and make it look skeletonized, right? Where, let's say his arm. Left shoulder. Gosh, it doesn't even do it that way. So his head, for example. Where's his headpiece? This. If I take that as a starting template, can I turn that into a skeleton? I would be happy if I could do that. The horrible thing about it is finding it in this stupid Photoshop file. I guess that's it. Did I do it? Do we possess the technology? So new. Hey, thanks for the follow, Crayon. Is that how you say it? Crayon 33? Skelly head. Okay, can I make this white scale? Right, grayscale. First off, I want to take out all the colors. Mode grayscale. Discard. This might work. A skeleton won't have ears, right? Because that's cartilage. So bye-bye ears. Okay. There we go. Oh, let's make some darker spots then, right? That go super dark, like almost all the way black. For this, right? So we're gonna grab his eye area and just dark the crap out of it. And then if I do this over top of it, what's it do for us? Not too bad. And then let's do the same brush technique down here. From here to say here. There. Down to there. Why is it crooked? There we go. And then blur it. This might work. He's a happy skeleton though, which is not right. I know! Like, I can edit things! Does he need bigger eyes? Does he need... like, slanted eyes would make him look evil, right? But also glowing red eyes inside there would make him look evil. He kind of has a happy face. Can we draw that out of him? Maybe? So let's undo the blur on it, and then go back to the brush. Bigger eyes, nose should be like a... Okay. Let's try that. Just so it doesn't look like a happy face as much. That's a little better. And you're saying I should take... Gosh. Like, this kind of color probably and put it here. And then blur that again, I imagine. There we go. Whoa, what did I just do? So let's go back to brush and... That helps, but they almost look like girly eyelashes. So, grab both blurs. Make them a little fatter so they don't have that effect, maybe. There we go. It helped. If I would have not blurred the eye originally, it would be perfect. Like, so the blur's even. Because it makes this top part stand out more. Don't be afraid to go very big. Okay. Wish I would have done this in layers now that I'm to this point. I could undo it all. I can't undo it all right now. I don't have enough undo layer or undo history. Control Shift Y. What's the redo? Control Shift Z. Oh. Darken it up and widen out that inner part of the eye a bit. Large eye and mandible that extends back to the ears. I get what you're going for now. Right, so we could almost extend this part back to here and here on this version of it, right? Let's try that blur again. I love the blur tool. To me, it's like take pixel art and turn it into non-pixel art, and I can somewhat handle pixel art. There's no way I would draw 15 different layers of coloring in there. Right. This is probably going to end up looking like a big smiley face on him. Yeah, I agree with you. That's probably not symmetrical either. Well, he almost looks like something from the DC comic, like a skeletal Joker. That big of a grin. Let's see if I got enough undo history, please. I don't. Dang it. Why can't it zoom back in? Come on, Photoshop. What's wrong? Give me the zoom power. Oh, must have hit all. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm regretting doing that because I don't have enough undo history to get rid of this thing. He's got a permanent smile there on that side now. So, we either draw it back in white. Just not gonna work. Yeah, I know. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to. So I'll have to erase both of the years again. There it is. Can I just mask it out? Can I mask this? Masking. X. Why am I seeing the year? What am I doing wrong? I have to do it like that? Nope. No. Oh, wait, can I? Why is my mask not applying? Why am I? Oh, there we go. We can set it so we can see the eye that we made. And the nose that we made. And the changes to the ear. And we can do just the parts of the mouth that we want. Maybe. Or we can do none of it. X and paint this back to white. None of the one of the mouth, right? So that's him without a mouth. And then we can just say merge all this, I think. Ah, there we go. Now I can create another layer. And pick that dark black color we had in the center of these. Get to a nice small brush size. And paint in the mouth. Okay, had to take care of my youngest daughter. She got her knee all scraped up. Sorry about that, guys. Let's start with that and then just blur it. Let's stay with this. I've actually got to go get the kids to bed. So I will catch you guys next time. Bye.